Alright, what is up, guys? Turn the AC on before I melt. Okay. This is day 55 of studying compilers every day until I land a compiler role. Yeah, it's been a long weekend, a whole lot of writing code for a hackathon, but I'm back now, so yeah, I guess we're gonna go back to writing code as we always have. I'm gonna do the Leetcode daily first. It's been a while since I've done that as well, at least live on stream. I've definitely done that just on my own, just to keep the streak going, but I haven't done it on stream for a while. So glad to be doing that again. And then aside from that, I'm gonna continue my big data structure redesign pile for my compiler. I'm going to add a block updater and a function updater, so I don't have to do this weird index tracking thing, and I can hopefully just pass everything to just one unified thing that will do all the work for me, and I can just put all the code there and then never have to look at it again. So yeah, that is the plan for today at least. So with that, let's start with the Leetcode daily. Yeah, streak's still up. Avoid flood in the city. Yeah, so this week's theme has just been water, I guess. Yeah, so that's pretty funny, but yeah, let's keep this going. So I too enjoy living in a country with an infinite number of lakes. Yeah, so when it rains over the nth lake becomes full of water, and if it rains over a lake that is full of water, there will be a flood. Okay. Okay. We can dry a lake, is what it appears. Okay. So each day we can dry one lake. Seems like. Okay, so this is kind of just this reminds me a little of an adjacency list, sort of. Okay, so we make a vector taken rains, so it rains on lake I. And we can, okay, so we can dry a lake on, okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Multiple valid answers, return any of them. If it's impossible to avoid a flood, return an empty array. Okay. So then, let's see. Okay. So let's make a vector. Also, my mouse is plugged in. Let me unplug it. Alright, so we have a vector, int, which is a result. Let's default initialize it to just range size and then -1 for the default values. And then we want to keep a queue, I think. We want to keep a queue of the days that it does rain, or the days that it doesn't rain, so then we can just dry things, I guess. Alright, so let's... What is a good... I guess deck. No rain. Yippee, okay. Let's see. We want to get the indices here, so we can't really iterate without for loop, sorry, I can't speak. We can't iterate without an indexed for loop here. So let's do that. Okay, so if we also want a visited set, sort of. And then if a number goes above, yeah, if a number goes above 1, then we select a day to dry. And then if we can't, we just return an empty vector, I think. That seems pretty reasonable. So let's give this a try. So let's have we could probably just have a vector here. These in order necessarily? I guess not. Worst case. Oh, yeah, see. It's easy to prove. Okay. Alright. Let's make an unordered map from int to int. Rain. So if rains at I is -1, then we no rain, we're gonna push back I guess. Wow, I can't type. Should probably surround this. How'd the hackathon go? It went alright. We almost won, but then we decided to get canes instead of sticking around to answer questions. So we ended up it was a close vote for first apparently, and we just didn't win that. So happens, I guess. But it is what it is. I still had a good time. We built a utility to take night skies from like various space agencies and then project it using VR. So we have I guess, you know, I could just display this surely. So we took this thing called Aladdin, which is like NASA's, or like I don't remember if it's NASA, but it's this tool for viewing like sky maps, and we kind of just like extended it a little bit. What does a right click do again? Let's see what a right click does. Okay, maybe the backend's down right now, but what Aladdin had to begin with is like this sort of like sky projection thing. So we took that, we slapped it on a VR, and like we added like a couple of utility layers on top of that. We tried to add like an AI voice assistant, and then like that kind of broke. So yeah, it's all kind of a mess. Yeah, it is what it is. Overall, I had a good time, I guess. Wrote a lot of code, didn't get a lot of sleep. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been missing for the last 2 days, but yeah, we're here now, I guess. And life goes on. And then, funnily enough, the first class I had back was an astronomy class. So, that was a little unfortunate, but you know, that's how it is. Okay. Here we want to rains at I. We want to increment that. We can prefix increment that here. And if that's greater than 1, then if no rain is empty, then we can just return empty vector, I guess. That's really cool, thank you. Spent a little too long on that one. I guess that's always how it is. Otherwise, we have something we can take from this. So then, res at no rain at the front. This will equal rains at I. And then rained at rains I. We want to minus minus. Yeah. So we can do that. And then, yeah. So this should handle the basic loop. And then if we have leftover days, we just want to append them at the end. Real quick, I think the test cases don't have leftover days, so we can just, oh, forgot to return. Let's give this a shot. This one's wrong. Why is this one wrong? Oh, because I forget to pop, that's why. Do I forget to pop? Huh? No rain. We want to pop front, I guess. I think that's how this works. Okay, that's still wrong, which is fair enough. That's not fair enough. Why is it empty? Okay, so 1, 2. Oh, right. We never push onto it, I think, right? Yeah. That's why. So then we want. Wait, no. We do a thing there. Yeah, this should be fine. Right? This increments and then maybe decrements. So if it's greater than 1, then we have to do all this stuff. Why is this empty? Why is no rain empty? Oh, wait, I know why. If this, wait, no, this doesn't make sense. Because this should be default 0, this goes up to 1. Huh? Why is it empty? Let's comment this out. Okay, that, yeah. That doesn't make sense. Res at no rain dot front is rains I. Why is that empty? That should have something in it at this point. This doesn't make sense. Okay, first one, so... Oh, wait. Is 0. That's, yeah, okay, fair enough. Should be good then. Oh, I guess not. Oh yeah, because we didn't handle the rest of the stuff. I in no rain. So this is just cleanup for the rest of the things that we need to drain a lake on anyway. Let's just drain day 1, I guess. So we can just do res at I equals 1. And this should be good to go. Oh, okay. Huh. Is it not popping front? So that's greater than 1 here. Yeah, it should be empty. At front. That makes sense. Okay, so we start with 0. So then why is that? So that's greater than 1. Maybe we should just use test case. Let's print the size here. Just prints once. So that's 0. So wait, why is that not? Let's try that out. Okay, so it's just size 1 each time. That's strange. Or wait. Deck. This has a size thing, right? Yeah, it says size. Or empty. You definitely call pop front. So how's this happening? Yeah, so you definitely push back there to no rain. Okay, let's just separate this out. Just do that. And then this is 1. And do that. Still wrong. Why is this running incorrectly? Push back and pop front. That should be empty. That doesn't make sense to me. Res at that is rains at I? Yes. Yes, because we drained that. So why is it not empty? We pop front from it. So if we call this again, this should crash, right? Yes, that one crashes. So then why doesn't this one crash? Okay, let's just print out size at every iteration. Okay, so we're not popping from what? Wait, what? So this has a thing in it. I don't know. This confuses me. Why is this not working? This should be correct. Am I just tweaking? Like, what am I missing? Why are we not popping? Oh, what's good, MD? Why isn't this popping front? There's references or Pop back, push, what? So we get front, yes. So it definitely exists. So then, studying compilers just have Python, JavaScript as top skills in CV. Yep, that's always how it goes. Why is this broken? We literally pop front. So why is this one failing? Where's eyes 1? So it's greater than 1 and we can't do anything. Why is this? Yeah, we're just not empty, I guess, for some reason. Why is it not empty? Why isn't it popping front? This definitely has something in it. Because it's not empty. This is going to be like the only time I throw a ChatGPT at a problem, because I actually have like no idea why this is wrong. This should be correct. I think this should be correct. This is like a truly rare occurrence. Oh, that's not it. Let's steal that like that. And then test case. Logic bug. How old are you? I am old enough to drink. I think after the last round. Oh, wait, no, what? Huh? Wait. In college studying CS? Yes. Oh, I also just realized there's also that other bug. Yeah, this approach wouldn't work to begin with. So we can't just keep a queue here. But this one should work. Oh wait, no, I know why it's not working. Okay, yeah. It is for that exact reason that was just mentioned. Okay. Let's see. Oh, something fell. Unlucky. Okay. I know why this is wrong now. We can't really dry it. It's not supposed to fail on this one. It's supposed to fail on this one. And that's what I'm missing. You can't really... Or I guess like... Oh wait, no. It should fail on this one because we can't... It's not 101, rather. I have the logic wrong. Okay, so then this queue doesn't quite work. Okay, so we want a... Actually, we don't even need the... How do we do this? I don't think we need to decrement from this, to be honest. We can just keep adding 1 to it. We can also prefix increment here. Okay. We still want no rain. What should this be? Let's take Maybe we just keep track of like last rained, and then yeah, maybe we just keep this as we should keep no rain, but make this a vector, I think. Yeah, this problem is very quickly turned into a mess. Hail ChatGPT always lives in the first sentence. Yeah, like, oh my god. Last night, or like 2 nights ago, just like trying to vibe code like 3JS XR stuff was not working properly. And I kept throwing it to ChatGPT and it's like, I see what's happening now. And I'm like, no you don't. And it's like, bruh. Yeah, a little bit of frustration, but that's always how it is. Okay, so we want this, and then so we want to keep track of last rained and unordered map, I guess? Yeah, okay. Yes. So we can do that. What are the point of compilers? The goal is to take a language and translate it into another language. There's a lot of reasons why this is good, but there's a lot of software engineering that goes behind them, and I think that stuff's just really cool. What do we do here? So we want to change that, and we want last rained. Maybe we set that after all of this. Last rained at that, or at rains at I is now I guess. Maybe we could just throw like upper bound at no rain. I guess, right? a better condition for this. We can do last reigned at I. So if that is, or we can just like, we can do a binary search real quick. Plus upper bound. How do we do this again? First last value. If it doesn't exist, it's just last. First iterator. Last if no exists. Okay. So then using this we can what language are you coding in? I've been trying to use C++ at least. So we want upper bound of, we want, okay, these are iterators. So we want no rain begin, no rain end, and then we want last reigned at I think. What is upper bound as opposed to lower bound again? Which is after value. Okay. So the first one after this. And if this is, okay, so then if iter equals the end, so we want no rain, and then we can return empty. Also just started learning C++. It's really fun but challenging. Yeah, that's kind of, I think that's a pretty good way of putting it all. There's just like a lot of stuff to learn, but it's also just very powerful. And it feels really nice when you write something correctly at least. Like for instance, this like upper bound function, this is just like binary search, and it's like, it's just so cool that it exists, and I'm like, yes, I know it exists. And I can like recall that it exists. Okay, so then we want, this should be a deck actually, right? Yeah, it should be a deck. Sorted, yeah, it is sorted, so this is fine. This stays sorted. Yeah, so we can keep this as a deck actually, so we can delete without making a mess at least. Okay, yeah, so if it's empty, then we don't do anything otherwise, then res at iter, we want to get the value at that iterator. So that we can set that to reigns I, and then we don't even need to decrement here, and then we also need iter can we just erase that iterator in deck, or like? Do this, right? Okay. Yeah, so we can just deck erase. Or I guess like no rain erase iter. So that should be good enough, I think. And then the cleanup I think is the same, which is really funny because we deleted it. So for each I in last reigned, or not last reigned, in rain, not reigned, the other one, no rain, first try. So then we want res at I to be 1, and then it should be fine. Okay, nice. And I think this should give correct output. This should, hopefully. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah, okay, sure. Sure. Alright. Why is this broken now? So 2. So why does this put 2 first? Because this 2 is accessed. Yeah, so this should be getting it, right? Upper bound of that. Last reigned at 2 is that index. So 2 should be coming before or after that, right? Yeah. Last reigned at that is I. Oh. Last reigned at reigns at I. Whoops. Alright, this should actually truly be correct now. Yeah, okay, perfect. And we're smack dab in the middle because everyone did the same thing. Alright, that's the Leetcode done. Yippee. Alright, let me check something real quick. Alright. What is a Leetcode? It is like... So Leetcode is a website that hosts a bunch of like practice problems for like coding interviews. Usually in an interview, if you're not familiar, you're usually given like 1 or 2 of these problems. I guess problems list. Yeah, so you're given like 1 or 2 of these problems of like varying difficulty, and you're asked to like solve them, explain your thought process, and then like explain your solution's time complexity. So like valid parentheses is like a pretty easy to explain example. It's like you're given a bunch of parentheses. And then like if they form valid parenthesis combination, then like you turn true. And then like you write up your solution, and then like you explain your thought process throughout, and like they kind of like evaluate you based on your performance. So Leetcode is like practice problems for that, pretty much. Are you still doing the Kaleidoscope project or your own compiler? I'm working on my personal compiler, yeah. So yeah, we're in here. Last time we made a mess. I think what did I do last time? Oh right, we finished up at least the core of the data structure rewrite, and we're running into bugs caused, I guess, by the just messiness of the code. So I think now we're in a pretty good spot to, I guess, do a little bit of the cleanup work. I don't think, if we're storing everything in a list, I don't think we need the eraser helpers anymore. We can kind of just do this by hand. But yeah. Let's see. Right, because in MIR, Yeah, everything is a list now. Oh, this is the only vector. That's like kind of necessary though. So yeah, that is a vector. Everything else is not a vector. You're making your own compiler, like a Visual Studio thing? Not quite. Visual Studio contains like C++ development utilities because like Windows sucks. But Visual Studio itself is a code editor, and you might have heard the term IDE thrown around, like integrated development environment. That is what Visual Studio is. A compiler is the thing that's like included within Visual Studio. So if you've heard of like GCC or Clang, those are like the two big C compilers. I'm sort of building my own here to sort of learn from them and figure out the general design principles that go into them as well. And also re-implementing some of the algorithms so I understand what's happening. Yeah, okay. So we can... I don't think we need the helper class specifically for this. So we can kind of just do the cleanup work, I think, by hand. This seems fine. Event right here. We can definitely make this a little bit less ugly. Yeah, okay. Let's take a second to clean up this code a little bit. What terminal is it? This is Westterm, and I'm running WSL with I'm running WSL on this machine, and then I'm accessing it through Westterm, I guess. Actually, this is all the insertion technically. Okay. So we compute dominance frontiers. That's fine, I think. So that's just each block's dominance frontier. We have defs here, which is important. Yeah, so this makes sense. This makes sense. We kind of just need to have this mess, unfortunately. Yeah, this will have to do. Let me check out Westterm then, because I use WSL all the time. Yeah, I think Westterm is at least when I was researching it, it seemed like the terminal that had the most WSL integration, at least. So it's the most usable for me, and also it's like Lua configurable. So I kind of decide just to use that at least. What's up, Fortnite Gamer and more? Did you find someone to work on the patch with, or is it still kind of just new? Finally got it working for latest version. Nice, good stuff. Starting new here, you're implementing a graph register allocator. That's something I plan on doing. For now, I'm kind of stuck at the middle end still because I'm kind of scared to approach the back end. I also want to make sure like some of these optimizations at least work. So that takes a little bit higher priority for now, I think, because this is where most of the learning is going to come from for me. Because I've already done like a compiler front end and back end before, but I've never really done middle end work. How come you don't prefer to go to Linux fully? I have a Valorant addiction. That is the only reason. Valorant does not run on Linux, so I have to stick with Windows for a little bit longer at least. With that, work with that. Okay, this makes sense. This is bug fixing time. Yeah, that's always a bit of a mess. That's kind of where I'm at here as well. No LLVM? Yeah. I've done the LLVM tutorial once at least. I feel like I'd get more value at least trying to re-implement most of the LLVM infrastructure by hand at least, because then I can kind of understand the motivation behind a lot of it a little bit better, I think. What is Valorant? It is, I think the description is literally just 5v5 tactical shooter, or like a tactical FPS game. It's like Counter-Strike, but you also have like agent-specific abilities. It's a little bit too fun for me to give up, unfortunately. How long did it take to do the LLVM tutorial? I think I spent roughly my first 20 streams, I think, working on it. If you wanted to, like, look through that, I think that'd be a pretty good place to follow along. I also extended it a little bit by adding some stuff here and there, but yeah. I think if you, like, really locked in, I'd say maybe, like, 30 hours to, like, get through it all and, like, fully understand everything, but yeah. What's I gonna clean up here? I think all of this stuff was fine. Okay. So then you have that. Maybe I'll like make helpers to like make these because this is getting kind of gross. Hi from Egypt. Hello. I just started studying Node.js. What do you think? I think Node is... It depends on what you're trying to do. I think if you're trying to do like anything full stack or like front end, or I guess like back end, maybe even front end, I think it's pretty useful. The world unfortunately runs on JavaScript, so I think it's pretty fair to study at least, even if I am not a fan of Node personally, or I guess just not a fan of JavaScript in general. I think it's at least like reasonable to study. What is happening here? What in the hell? Node.js king of async? Yeah, unfortunately. We could have so much better, but instead we are using JavaScript, I guess. Honestly, Rust is the king of async, but what do I know? Is there a way I can like make some of these types less awful to work with here? I don't think there's a way I can make some of these types less awful to work with, unfortunately. I study it for backend? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, in that case, I think it's still pretty fair to learn. You're definitely more in the field than I am about that, at least, so I don't really know how much I can say about that, unfortunately. Oh yeah, the nice thing here is we can actually erase basic blocks now, I think. Yeah, we don't need to like, we can just like delete things now, it turns out, because we're using a list. Yeah, so we can just delete the allocate, I think, right? Are any of these linked to an allocate pointer? Yes, they are. Okay, we actually can't do that. So we might need the helper still, actually. Just for like general correctness. Do you play Slime Rancher 1 or 2? You think you mentioned 1? Yeah, I've played a couple hours of Slime Rancher 1. It's a pretty fun game, I'd say. I've enjoyed it. Let's add a util here. This should be mutator, I guess. Like builder. Maybe I should just make this a generic like builder. Yeah, that might actually be a pretty good idea. But that could also be a pretty bad idea. Let's just call it builder for now. Optimizing software in C++? Yeah, I've heard good things about that. I'll probably give it a read at some point. I think it's relatively famous. Okay, so we're making the builder here. This is just like the, I guess the helper for, I guess, modifying a basic block, and for modifying a function at least, so it might be useful. Is there a better way to do this? Do you want to just... We could just make a whole builder at the function level. Factory method, not quite. It's also, I guess, like a modifier of sorts. The idea is then we can like sort of keep track of all of the changes we're making, and then I guess execute all of those changes in one pass rather than doing it as we go, which could cause issues with like maybe invalidating iterators if I change the design, or like deleting some pointers that I use that I guess keep track of some information further down the line. So like here, for instance, I map allocates to their relevant what's it called? To all of their uses and their loads. So it would be unsafe for me to delete them, I guess. But also I could just keep track of them and delete them at the end. Maybe I'll do that instead, actually. Because what other passes do I have here, right? Simplify CFG. This is like basic block level. I don't think there would be dependencies that matter here, at least. Yeah, maybe I don't make the builder, actually, on second thought. Yeah, I don't think I need this for now. We might make a mess, but when haven't I made a mess, I guess. So let's just keep track of we can just keep track of these, I think, and call it a day. C++ move from list. Does that like join the two ends at all, or like? I'm curious, actually. That could be interesting. How's the compiler going? Last time I made a mess. Right now I'm still working on cleaning up that mess. I've given up on or at least I've currently put this block updater and function updater idea on hold because I don't think I need them. So, yeah. Okay. Splice? Okay, let's ask ChatGPT. If I move something out of a C++ std list, do the neighbors get joined, or does it just leave a null footer hole? Ask me? Yep. ChatGPT and I have become very close friends, and then very quickly fell out across the past 2 days. Okay, so it doesn't change. Should move and then erase. Okay. That makes sense. So we can just, yeah, this should clean things up a little bit, I think. Instead of like keeping a terribly, terribly long list of everything. Okay, a lot of these data structures are just ugly, but I feel like kind of necessary, unfortunately. Okay. I also think, since everything's a list now, we can also kind of separate some things out as well. So like, I don't know. Well, this is kind of one big mega function still, so we'll have to deal with it that way. Okay. What have I deleted so far? Ah. What did we delete? Oh, we haven't deleted anything. Okay. Okay, let's go back to the top here. Variable renaming, I think, is the big place. Because fee insertion, we just add stuff, I think. But also, we don't need to keep track of fees like this anymore, right? Or fees. Right? Yeah, so here, we just add them here. Yeah, because we can just directly insert them here, and that solves this weird issue that happens here. Oh, maybe we still need this actually. Can't see my chat where I shared my sites link? Yeah, YouTube kind of just eats up URLs. Just send it in my Discord and like ping me, I guess. Do I still need these? I think I do, right? Or you can just like iterate through the instructions until it's not a fee, but we could just like keep track of them separately in a different way even. Yeah, I think I'll do it that way. Perhaps that will be a little less ugly. Right? Will it be? Yes, because then we don't have to like move them in at the end either, right? Because we're just adding fees and we're deleting things. But then also it makes like overhead, right? Guess not. It should be fine. We'll try it like this at least. Okay. So let's yeah, because then this also gets rid of the unique pointer element of this, which is gross. Okay. Let's see. Let's take a look at this website. Ooh. Ooh, fancy graphics that I don't know how to do. This looks pretty good, to be honest. Hopefully it scales well on like lower end machines as well. Yeah, this looks very good. Yeah, good job. Good work. You know the Zuck meme where he's like, good work team? It's like that. What's good, Isaac? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I think this does not denest anything at all, actually. That's really funny. Yeah, let's do this. And then so basic block to allocate fees here. Yeah, okay. So what do we do here for, so this is still fee insertion, right? Okay. So then, what am I doing here? I think this is fair. The stuff at the top is inevitable. Visited set is fair. And then we process through it. While it's not empty, we get back. For each basic block in its dominance frontier, if it exists, then we continue. So we make the fee, we want to change this to fee get, I guess. And then, actually, we could also add another continue condition here, right? Because I think there's there's no chance we visit a block multiple times, I think. At least at this point. We might have like duplicate fee inserts later on, I think. Right? Looks like get edges. Right? Is that what causes all the duplicate fees to show up? Okay. Well, let's keep trying, I guess. I'll just keep a mental note here that this might be where duplicates would be handled. Okay, anyway, so we set that, and then we want to move this into the front. So, so where does it end up getting inserted? The basic block, right? Yeah, in the basic block. Instructions, we want to insert, I guess, like push front, actually, which is nice. We can just insert std move fee, and I think we're fine, right? Oh, right. Okay. Thanks for checkout and points. I'll definitely see if holds up on lower end machines. Yeah. I only mention this because like I'm just kind of a big portability guy. I guess that's also like that might just come from like me being a compiler person, but yeah. High level, low level. How much time could take me learning assembly x86? Honestly, as much time as you want to, I think. The big thing is more just like learning about like numeric representations at like the machine level in general. But beyond that, I think like the assembly language itself is like not that difficult to learn. You can kind of just like go over a reference and call it a day for the most part. But I'm also like not completely well versed, so I would like take my words here with a grain of salt at least. What's your learning material? It's a combination of like prior books or like prior knowledge from like classes and doing research. A couple of books I'm looking at, so like the Muchnick book and the big SSA book, I guess. And then like looking at LLVM and sort of seeing what it's doing at most levels at least. I had to learn reverse engineering so I can make game cheats. Oh, that's a fun one. That might be. There's a pretty good chance that one is a little bit whatchamacallit, a little bit outside of a couple games terms of service, I fear. So this triple layered thing is not it. I'm not sure why this is triple layered again. We have the reaching. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, so then vector of pair of basic block and its reaching definitions. I guess that makes sense, unfortunately. Okay, let's try and can we like make any of these types like less ugly to look at, because these like what is this? Like truly, what is this? Or like this one is also like really ugly. I shall go to sleep. Yep. Take care, man. Take it easy. Thank you for showing up to the stream. Okay, let's do a type def here. Allocate to fee is the ordered map of just this thing. I need that. Yeah. Okay. Do that. I don't know why that was indented strangely, but I guess it was. So now we can change this out. Do basic block putter to allocate to fee. Do that. Yeah, so then yeah, we can do this. Yeah, okay. Let's do it like that. That might look just as ugly. And now that I look at it. Yeah, okay. We're yeah, we're just yeah. Yeah, okay. What's breaking here? What is feed? This, oh yeah. This is a, this is just a pointer now actually, so this is fine. And one more instance here. Yeah, we can clean up that little bit later. Because that we don't need anymore. So ideally we should just not need this either. So we can do this. And then we'll change this as well, right? This is a basic block putter. This should not be a reference. That seems broken and not ideal. It should just be a pointer, I think. Yeah. Auto basic block and reaching was, oh, because there's a move. Oh, okay, I see. I understand why I destructured it like that. Okay, let's reach pair there. We don't need this anymore actually, we just process it here as a fee, I think. So we want to, yeah, so we should ideally be pulling this out somewhere else, I think. Mark for deletion. That's what we need. Okay. Let's just go up here. We do need one more list, unfortunately, but this is a little bit less miserable. We can just std vector of std unique putter of our instruction. If I can spell. Yeah, so unique pointers of allocate. Actually, yeah, because we need to hold on to these, and then we can just drop them all at once. Yeah, so we need to keep track of these in some way. Yeah, because we can't drop them immediately because that also, like, I think maybe we could use the dangling pointers, right? Because we don't access them. Right? Right? That might be like really ugly, but it's theoretically something we could do. But that's also not safe. So like, Right? Because we just compare the pointers. We could just drop. Well, let's try just dropping. Or let's try without dropping right now, because it's like literally like 3 lines of code. Yeah, so let's get 2, we want to move this. So we don't need like this anymore. Let's for each I instructions. This is fine. We can just get the pointer like this, I think. Or does this always inline anyway? I want to reduce the mess we make. Okay, like that makes more of a mess. Drop is, I think, the right word here. Go I putter. This is just as bad, I think. Right? Yeah, this is just as bad. Let's just do it like this. Yeah, so we want to move the instruction into to delete. So to delete, we want to push back. Maybe the word is drop, I guess. That seems more precise, at least. Why is this broken? Oh. Yeah, we can do it like this then, I think. Yeah, we should just push them all there, I think. Unless we can just straight up delete them, right? List, erase. I know it has erase, but I think this is the safe way to do that. And then we can like play around with just using erase and then see what happens there. Yeah, and then we'd also have to change this to an iterator, at least, instead of a for each, but that's okay. Maybe we should, though. We'll try it like this for now. So this is a store is a def. So this is just that, and then I think we'd also have to do this for fees as well, right? Yeah, so yeah, store and then fee are the 2 examples here. So initialization is just allocate here. And then load is also, I think, a fee. Right? Guess maybe not. Yeah, we're just gonna do it this way. I need to implement my own template-based dynamic cast. How does the LLVM do that, actually? What do they do? Is is? Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. What is the explanation here? Dark. Ontology. Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So it's just a type relationship. So we go back to this. Okay. Fine, so we don't have to think about it. That's nice. Okay, so we introduce an enum. I just gonna mix all the different concrete classes and stash the enum value somewhere there. Okay. Kind, encapsulated private. Okay, that makes sense. So here we'd have like all of our different instruction types, for instance, and then like a value, I think. Okay, and then we'd have to like implement some things for various different classes. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Make sure it gets initialized to the corresponding to dynamic type of the class. REM constructor, okay. Okay, so we just, sure, I guess. Okay, this is something we'll worry about eventually. We'll figure it out when we get there. Yeah, okay. So we can do that. Once something is like running really slow, I'll implement this. But for now, I don't think it's that bad to like double dynamic cast here. So if it's one of those, then yeah, let's do that. And then, oh wait, that doesn't work the way we want it to. Yeah, so we might just throw this on another layer here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do it like that. In an older version of this, we had fee handling already. This is kind of troll in hindsight. Why did I do it like this? Okay, let's just keep this out here for now. Okay, so we can. A fee, we just update the thing. Let me just consult the big book again. To whoever is asking what I'm learning from, this is the SSA book specifically. Yeah, we'll do this. I have Comet installed because I got extra Discord points for it, so I sold my soul for it. Okay. So, variable renaming, I think this is the part we care about. Yeah. For each variable is by a non-fee. So this is a little bit simpler for me, I think, because then, yeah. So a fee is just I guess it's both a load and a use, at least. So we'd have to handle that differently. There's this update reaching def thing as well. They do it here, right? Yeah. We might need to do a little bit of that as well. It's here. Yeah, let's unsplit screen this. Okay. Okay. Let's update reaching def. V and I. So yeah. Do you recommend the book? Is it free? You can obtain it through very legal means online. I will leave the rest of the work to you. Create a fresh variable. I feel like this over-engineers what I'm trying to do, at least. Replace this definition of... Oh, I see. The thing is, this doesn't really make sense for what I'm doing, at least I feel like. Let me just go back to what I had before, because I think that might kind of tell me what I need to do, I think, right? This is like here, or no, middle end and pass. Yeah, this is definitely more messy. Okay, we handle fees here. So this is just a write, I guess, which is helpful. Okay. Yeah, okay. So the reaching def is just the putter of the fee. So this is just the same as like that, right? Yeah. Then what is value here? Oh, wait, we do need the helper then, right? Example, walk through example. Real versions. What is this slot-based approach? I don't understand this. What is R again? Use a variable. Chain through chain of current definitions until we find the closest definition that dominates P. Oh. Update with this definition. Yeah, we're just gonna. I think we're gonna keep the way we currently do it, at least. Still a mess, but yeah. This is the maintainable way to do this, I think. So let's compare against this. It's for each LOK and fee and fee. Is this legal? Or fee dot get predecessors? No, this is just a fee. So I'm reaching at so you want okay, so maybe we should just not handle it like this even. So this is just store, this is just allocate. Okay. And here we can just change this with 2 drop, I think. Right? Right now. I'll worry about this in a second. I'm getting my lanes twisted by accident. Okay. We want to process the fees real quick. For each of these. I just tried to use tiling window manager binds, god damn it. So this is still have fees. And fees at basic block. We want to set the reaching definition. Yeah, so we can do that. Yeah, okay. So you can visit that. Do that. Okay. So that handles all the fees, at least, because they come first. Okay, now we can change this. So this, what do we change here? To drop, we can just call this again, I think. Yeah, okay. Here we need a .get. Yeah, and then this we just replace all uses, at least. Yeah. So now you can paste it here. We don't have end anymore. And then I think the rest of this we can just clean up, right? We don't need any of this. We already inserted the fees, and then we don't need to erase things anymore. Yeah, let's give this a shot. Make test. Maybe I should make. Just make straight up. That's not ideal. Something crashes. Something still crashes at least. That's, yeah, okay. So what tests do we have at least? Simplify CFG, we're kind of expecting to fail. So let's just make this mem2reg. And then this also should just be mem2reg, I think, for now. If this compiles, we're good. This does not compile. We are not good. Okay. So mem2reg crashes somewhere. Okay, let's see where this is crashing. Let's rebuild this, and then Yeah, that crashes. Let's try call chain. That one crashes. Something is crashing somewhere, and I don't know where. Okay. These are the only places we use fees, at least. Just gonna do that. I think we also need to erase. I think that's what I'm forgetting to do, actually. Yeah, because if we're moving it, we still need to, like, kill the empty space that's there. So we need to change this to auto iter I equal I iter. So we want instructions, begin, I iter is not equals instructions, and I iter plus plus. Okay. We want this, right? Oh, wait. Wait, we can also clean it up like this now. Iter, get. We can just make this iter. Make this a little less ungodly. Iter. Can I get a reference of the... That's so cursed. Has anyone written code like this before? Okay, we might just have to arrow get this instead. Admire consistency, appreciate what you keep going. Thank you all. Your support does mean a lot to me. Like, it's... I feel like if it weren't for other people just like watching my content, I probably would have stopped streaming by this point already. Talking to no one's always just like kind of demotivating, so it really means a lot that like y'all are here just like supporting me at least. We don't need to get here anymore then at least. Yeah, this is still fine. This doesn't make sense anymore at least. So we want iter get here, right? Arrow get, or just deref iter, right? Yeah, we can just deref iter. And then we want to iter erase, or I guess like how do we call erase here? Okay, we can just directly call that, I think. Oh wait, no, we need to set the new iterator to it. So now we can do iter equals instructions erase iter, right? Yeah, okay. So we can just throw this in here. I don't really get here anymore. This is so cursed, but it's pretty funny. Yeah, okay. Neat. Remember when you told Remember us when you're CO GCC? I don't think CO GCC is happening. I don't think I'll do enough work to get to that high of a level in any organization, but I will remember you all, of course. I think y'all are definitely one of the highlights of at least this part of my life, and yeah, it does mean a lot that y'all are here, just watching me write code, at least, so, yeah. Is this Neovim in WSL? Yes. Is there a cleaner way I can do this actually? Or like down here, this... this thing here? You just need to pass in allocate values and... oh, there's more things we need to pass in, never mind. How was the hackathon? It could have gone better. We basically ended up, like, most of our troubles came from trying to turn a 2D thing into 3D. We were, like, really far ahead out of the first day, and then we decided just to try and turn it into 3D, and it just all went to shit. So, that happens. That's kind of always how hackathon ends up, but it is what it is. I'm not too upset about it, overall. Basically rendering, just, like, wrangling with, like, various different, VR, XR, web frameworks. Yeah, it's just kind of a slop fest, but oh well. Have you ever tried Rust? It's pretty nice. Trying it myself as a C++ main. Yeah, I've written a little bit of Rust code. One of the student orgs that I'm a part of this year is using Rust, so I'll definitely get to use it a lot more. I mostly am doing all of this stuff in C++ because I need the practice, but if I were to like just do this project again in the abstract, I would just use Rust because it saves so much headache. Yeah, I feel like I'd be in less misery if I just used Rust the whole time, but it is what it is. I guess we're just here now, so what can you really do? C minus minus? No, I would call it C++ even. Yeah, the seg faults are quite frequent. They're not making me enjoy a lot of what I'm doing right now, but you know, that's always how it is. Okay, this should be good now. So before it was breaking. Let's see if it's breaking now. Still breaking. Yeah, okay. Well, let's val grind this. What part is breaking here? Is it breaking in the 2-string or is it breaking in the... Okay, it's breaking in the 2-string. Value get type. What are we reading from? The return. Huh. Why is that what's breaking? That makes little sense to me, actually. That makes very little sense to me. Okay, let's run it on call chain. Okay. A lot of things are breaking here. Store. This is the same thing that was breaking last time, I think. Would a server an assembly or a debugger like GDB is a great project in Rust for extra points? Yeah, that makes sense, roughly. Yeah, I think I might try to attempt a debugger with this in the future. No promises, but that could be interesting at least. Yeah. Why would you prefer to do this project in Rust? I feel like there's just like... I feel like the way Rust structures or like the paradigm behind Rust just makes a lot more sense in terms of like program structures and like ownership mess as well, I think. And also, of course, this wall that I'm reading through right now, I think is another pretty solid reason, at least. Okay, why is this broken? Delete. Wait, destructor? Wait, what? When did I call destructors? Or do I have destructors? Did I add them? No. Oh, it's virtual. I see. That's where that comes from. Okay. What's a simple program we can look at least in the tests? I forgot what I have here at least. Binary op, surely. That one might be easy. Well, shit. Okay. Great. Okay, so we're visiting a load. And the instruction visitor from... Okay. MIR CPP63. So it's here. So we're... Okay. So let's climb this back up. Instruction 55. So it's a load, and then back to MIR. Oh, because the pointer doesn't exist anymore. No, but not yet. No, this definitely still exists. Right? Wait, why are we even reading a load? That shouldn't be happening to begin with. Where is this load coming from? That's not what we want here. Why is there a load? Why do we have a load to begin with? Right? Why? Like, why? Where is this load coming from? Yeah, we should not be keeping it at least. As a Rust program, I started learning C like a good few days ago, finding it much more simpler, but I know I'll get to malloc and memory allocation, I'll struggle. Yeah, it's like, it's just like a lot more stuff you actually have to think about, I guess, is the big way to think about it. Like C++ is like unique, like C++ is smart pointers save a lot of work. Rust just as a whole saves a lot of work. C is kind of just like dangerously efficient, I guess. Is compiler a language? No, it is a tool that translates between languages. So the compiler I'm writing right now translates C to x86-64. I'm working on that last part in the future, but for now it goes from like C down to an intermediate memory representation right now. What's wrong here? Yeah, of course. Why is there a load? What's this test supposed to look like again? Binary op. Expected binary op MIR. Oh, it should be fine. Huh. Charge opt load. There should not be any loads left anymore, at least. Okay, wait. So where's this load coming from? Dynamic cast. The value to string. Value to string. To string, basic block. Okay, this is just a straight up load. I don't know where this load is. Why we have a load at all. My idea here is that, like, this thing should just be getting dropped anyway. What if we just get rid of toDrop? Then we're definitely deleting these. Let's rebuild. Still seg faults. Why is the seg fault? We're literally deleting the thing. This should not be seg faulting. It's just one error now. Oh. 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 It's here. Oh. I see. Why are the uses breaking? Okay, well, I guess this makes sense. Sure, virtual method called terminate called without an active exception. Okay. Let's add to drop back so things still stay in scope, just to deal with like random overflow stuff. Let's try rebuilding again. This is like literally the issue we had before we did all this, which I think is really funny because we've just gone in a complete circle and we need to debug the mess that we made now. Are you affecting how the language handles IE stuff? Eventually. We currently don't have 64-bit is the thing, so that's how I'm getting around the problem for the time being, but yeah. Yeah, currently we just have ints, pretty much, I guess. Okay, so then what is going wrong here? So we passed the program. Why do we pass the program again? I don't think we need the program anymore. Oh wait, no, we still need the program. Right? Do we need it? New value is a putter. We don't call this anymore, right? Right? Yeah, we don't. Okay. So we don't need that. Yeah, I mean, I guess the pointers come from the program now. So we don't need this. We just don't need this either. And then this saves a little bit of headache, I think. What language is the compiler you're writing for? It's a very narrow subset of C. I'm like slowly adding more features to it. It's not at a breakneck pace whatsoever. It's neck-breakingly slow, as a matter of fact, I fear. Okay, so we want... I forgot how I restructured all this, so this makes a mess. We don't need this anymore. C is a great exercise? Yeah. I'm definitely learning a lot, both about how C works, and by extension, how things handle C, at least. And I'm also learning a lot about how it gets compiled down as well, which is pretty neat. And I'm also learning a lot about how to keep bonking my head against the wall when debugging things, at least. Still segfault. I mean, I guess we didn't change anything, which explains why we're still segfaulting, but... okay, so it's on a load. Delete the LK. Is there a place here? 150. Okay, fair enough, yeah. Okay, so it is getting dropped, which is what we want to happen, but it still exists somewhere, and I don't know why it exists somewhere still. There shouldn't be anywhere it exists anymore, at least. Is there like an LK destructor that I'm missing or something? Because I tried writing one, I think, and it really went poorly. Okay. Guess we don't. Right? Or wait, it'd be here. So these are the places. Or wait. Wait, what? Wait. Wait, what? What is happening? Where is the drop list again? Unique pointer of instruction, yeah, so then that should be fine. So what is... Stood out of range. By unordered map. Value to string. MIR 166. Okay, so the value doesn't exist, which makes sense. Like, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. Why doesn't it exist? Value to type. Okay, yeah, sure. That's, yeah, okay. So last verse being read. It's been freed. Okay, yeah, so we made that, yeah, so this is just an allocate that exists. What's BB modifier utilities? It's like, the stuff I wanted to write here was just like, so I guess like a class that would take a basic block and then you could like queue a bunch of instructions on it. So like think like add instruction here, like remove instruction n, and then you could call like execute, and then it would run all of them at once. And the idea is then like you get rid of like miscellaneous circular, or like you get rid of like dangling pointer messes. Then I realized I didn't need it anymore because of the refactor that I did. So, yeah, the description might be a lie, unfortunately, is what I'm getting at. Why is this not working though? Why? Okay, so we're freeing something, but what still relies on it? To drop. We have that. And then maybe we need to like change the uses? Alright, is there something here that I'm missing? We can just do block now. It's like B. This shouldn't. Why is this not like? Why is something breaking here at least? I'm not really getting why this is breaking at least. Let's open up the test real quick. Let's comment something out. Does this at least run? Alright, this is not the right one. Binary op. Yeah, that shouldn't seg fault. Why does this seg fault? Why is there so much? That should not be as long as it is. There are 3 errors. There's this one, there's this one, there's this one. Why are these stores still here? Is it terminating at a store? Or are all of these stores? This is a load. Load. Okay, there are 4 loads. So we aren't getting rid of the loads for some reason. Like, we are getting rid of the loads, but we're not getting rid of the loads. Why are there still loads here? Function toString, basic block toString. Is the are we not calling the thing correctly? Wait. What does erase do? Oh, wait. It's remove. No, this is not it. So what is erase? Plus erase from twist Is this guy doing the same thing as me? Let's see. Am I missing something here? Remove doesn't delete. It only shunts non-deleted forwards on. Okay. Okay. Start. Wait, what? So start is not end. Skip elements to be removed. Ah. Can we just like erase instead? Right, now we do erase. What's wrong here then? We need to remove first? This is not what I want. Huh. Okay. That doesn't help. It's linear. The fact it's linear makes me upset. How long can you learn from basic C++ up to now? I think I've only, like, if you take the time that I spent actually learning it, I think it's roughly like a month or two, probably like 3 or actually no, like I'd say 4 months is probably a safe amount of time if you were to just like only spend your time learning C++. If you were to talk about like cumulative time since I've like started, I'd say it's been like 2 or 3 years maybe. So yeah. Why doesn't erase work? So we're removing that, and we're getting rid of it. Why is this struggling? Okay. Erase is the one we should be using, I think. so this, we have a list. That has everything. We call erase on one thing. Yeah, okay. So we can advance those. So that erases 3, 4, and 5? Or 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah. So why doesn't this erase properly? Or like plus move from list and join. Well, what else does list have? There has to be something that does what I want it to. Let's go, Yarnum. Welcome to the stream. I'm trying to figure out how to erase an element from the middle of a list. I want to move it out, and then I want to erase, like, I want to rejoin at the gap at least. I'm really struggling to do this for some reason. Do the same shit starting at 2 AM? Yeah, that's good stuff. Erase should work. Or maybe I'm missing something in here if that's not doing what I want it to. Okay, well we might just have to do the test thing here now. Maybe if I just made less of a mess when writing this at first, I think we'd be in a whole lot less hurt right now. Good luck, bro. I had to go. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. You also have a wonderful evening. Okay, so this iterates across basic blocks, then instruction. Yeah, we're back to not using the debugger, for better or for worse. What happens to the list when you std move something? I think what happens is it just leaves a hole behind. I could be completely wrong though. Or like it leaves the, it might just like leave behind the empty string, sorta, yeah. So I might have to like rejoin it or something, if I had to guess. That was fast. Okay. So this should keep printing, right? Instruction. Ta-da. Okay. Huh. That's interesting. We're still reading all the other ones, right? So we're... Okay, so we're reading multiple on this one, which is expected. Let's comment these out. And we're adding this after, right? No, it's after. We should do it like this. What is happening here? That is my everything. Okay. Let's try rebuilding. A little more debugging to do, as always. Okay. So now the Valgrind should be a little bit cleaner though, right? It's literally just an int C. It's in the return. Are we not replacing uses? Oh wait, we might not be replacing uses of fees. That might be what's happening actually. Huh. Okay, well, let's clean up all of this at least. Reg. Well, man, doing a great job. Thank you. Yeah, actually this might just be a long-standing bug now that I think about that I've just never run into for some reason, I think. Yeah, okay, so we need to do this, I think. We can just steal all of this real quick. Don't need those anymore. And then for each successor in basic block successors, successor fees. If it contains allocate, then yeah, okay. I think this might be what we've missed as well. This should be fee. Okay. Okay. Let's build. I think this should work now then. That might be one of the most unlucky things I missed. Nope, it still fails. Okay. Why does it still fail? Valid terminator return? Why is the return failing? Oh, this is a headache. Okay. Let's go back here. Let's also turn that off. Maybe I need just like a -0 as well. Yeah, so that works. Three. Are we not iterating over this block? We should be iterating over it. So why is that not working? Oh wait, no, this is expected, I think. Let's run that. That again. Hopefully this is fine now. Womp womp. Okay, fuck me. 3 errors. Why are these not working? Okay, it's dying in a load. And then it's dying in a load. And it's dying in another load. Why are we still reading from loads? Where are these loads coming from? We don't have any more loads because we've deleted all of the loads, I think. We have 1, 2, 3 loads. 4 loads. So we got rid of one of them. How did we get rid of the rest? How the fuck did that happen? Okay, let's give this a simpler program, I think. Let's give it like, I don't know. Let's go back to this little test environment. One line might be good. Oh, right, because this doesn't work anymore. It's just int. Valgrind. Why? Why is there so much? 4 errors. Okay, let's try this again with just like, I don't know. Test even less. Let's see. Int main. 1. Okay. Wait, why are there so many? Wait, what? Wait. This can't be. What? Okay, so where could it possibly have 4 places to fail? There's no way that this tiny ass program is failing. Okay, let's see. I'm throwing this in ChatGPT. I have no idea what is happening. It's definitely gonna hallucinate something for me, but if it's hallucinating and I'm hallucinating, I don't think it's that bad all around. So like, I mean, this seems wrong. Okay, we're just gonna give it this full thing. We'll call it a day. Double increment. Oh, wait, that could, yeah, okay. That would make sense. Okay. I did not think of that, actually. I never knew that was a thing. I guess that's kind of obvious in hindsight, but, like, damn. Okay. Okay, sure. So then... we'll change this. Begin and equals instructions and right, or do we actually no. File iter is not instructions, and I did not know that was a thing that could happen. And in hindsight, it's like very obvious, but like, you know, yeah. Okay. Hopefully this fixes everything. Always tends to surprise you with these kinds of hidden mechanics. Yeah, I mean, it's not even like, it's not even hidden. It's just like, I should know that this is what it does. Like, yeah. I just forgot that, like, yeah. All good. Yeah, okay, this works now. Okay, yeah. You know what? I'm not even mad. Okay, let me take a second to explain what happened. So in here before, let me just change state to what it was before. Before we just had a for loop that iterated through this, and then at various instructions, if it matches the type, we move the thing to a vector that we drop at the end, and then we call erase. And what erase does is it deletes, is delete the word? I guess it deletes the memory that is at the iterator, and then it and crucially what it does is it returns the pointer to the next iterator, which makes sense because like you can't really have the iterator to something that you've just deleted. And in a vacuum I was like, okay, this is fine. Like we're iterating through it. We're removing, that's fine. The problem is, since what's happening here is that we are incrementing the iterator twice through this. Because the erase increments it once, and then we hit continue, and then it increments one more time. One more time through the for loop. So the solution is just use a while loop, and then it increase it by hand at the end. Which, yeah, fair enough. It's, yeah. Yeah. That's not supposed to happen. Why is there an infinite loop? Okay. Alright, we're already having problems again. Yeah, we'll figure it out in a second. Let's run this again. That's supposed to be done by now, for sure. What is a compiler? It is a program that translates programs from one programming language to another. So I'm writing a compiler that translates code from C down to x86-64. Okay, we got ourselves another infinite loop somewhere. Okay. This is on binary op. That sounds hard. Yeah, there's a lot of software engineering, a lot of theory that goes into it, but it's also just very rewarding. So I think it's quite neat, at least. Let's throw this into Valgrind. Let's kill it by hand. Okay, it's getting stuck in mem-to-reg run. Okay, we're just gonna... Now I have an infinite loop somewhere. It's gonna be something really stupid, I'm betting. Oh my god, wait. Wait, did I bot out again? I bought it out again, I think. Yeah, I bought it out again. Okay. I put that in the wrong place. I should write a compiler one day in Russell. Kind of suck out Lexing and parsing, so that'd be a good exercise. Yeah, I think that makes sense. That seems like a pretty reasonable project. For what it's worth, I think parsing is kind of uninteresting in general, because like nothing's really changed for a substantial amount of time. So at least for me, I use the parser generator. But I think like, I honestly feel like a parser generator is probably the best of both worlds. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, so there's a peg here that defines the grammar. I think it's a sufficient exercise in terms of like thinking about how you want to process data, but I think the process of like literally writing a parser by hand is pretty cut and dry. So my personal advice is just to not get bogged down in parsing, for better or for worse. But oh look, it runs now. Perfect. Anything weird happening in the code? Let's make test again. Okay, so we still have a we still have a memory issue somewhere here. Real quick, let's try this with like some of the other ones. Yeah, this control flow graph is a little bit uninteresting again, but it's also kind of to be expected. What's the hard one here? I think mem-to-reg is the big one that's interesting. These duplicate fees or these aren't duplicate actually. I think at one point we had some issues with like duplicate fees somewhere, but I don't know where those went. Do we call one anywhere here? Is this a dead variable? I guess it is. That's kind of funny. What's good, Skittles? Haven't seen you in a while. Haven't seen anyone in a while, but yeah. How's it going? I gave up on my debugging and I threw it to ChatGPT and it found the issue within 30 seconds. It turns out list erase also increments the iterator, which is not something I thought about in a for loop context. So that was causing various different issues on my end. But beyond that, everything's been pretty fine and dandy, I'd say. Exam tomorrow I've been pretty busy studying for? Yeah. I guess we've hit the part of the year where at least exams just don't stop, it feels like. So I feel you on that one. I've got an astronomy quiz on Wednesday I need to work on. It should be fun. Or, well, as fun as it can be after I spent a weekend doing NASA hackathon things. So, okay. What other tests are interesting here? We have if, mem-to-reg, scope, call chain. This one is kind of interesting. Okay, neat. Feeling good about it, we'll see what happens. Yeah, that seems fair enough. Regardless, that doesn't really change what you need to do, I feel like. Like, whenever whenever someone tells me that like they're feeling shaky about something, or whenever I feel shaky, I always give myself or them a reminder that like, regardless of how you feel, it's like it doesn't really change the current course of actions that need to be done. Like, if you need to, like, if you're feeling nervous about an exam, like, if you feel great, then like you should study because it's good to study. If not, then like you should still study. So it's like, yeah. If you're giving a performance and like you feel nervous, then, or if you feel fine, then great. You just go perform. If you feel nervous, then you still have to perform. So just focus on the here and now, at least. That's my take, at least. Yeah. I mean, I don't really have much else intriguing to say about it, at least. Okay, I think I'm pretty convinced that my mem2reg is correct. Maybe naively, but I think it's correct. I hope. Let's go to compiler real quick. Let's uncomment that. The simplify CFG line real quick. Let me bring it on screen. Let's build. Let's run it on if, because I think this will break, or even binary op. Oh, this doesn't break. Yeah, 'cause there's just a straight line. Okay, binary op. Yeah. Wait, we just ran that one. Call chain. That one doesn't? Yeah, nothing happens there. If. Okay, that one really quits. Why does that one quit? Maybe I should commit this stuff real quick. That might be smart. Okay, let's... what changed in the mem2reg.h? Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. Let's add all of those. And typo fix mem2reg. Holy hell. Okay. I think there was just something subtle that broke last time, at least, but I'm glad to see it's all resolved, at least. It'd be smart to call the stream here, but low-key I want to see what's wrong with simplify CFG, so I'm gonna... 58 errors. Oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah, okay. On second thought, maybe I'm a little bit less confident about this one. But... oh, boy. Alright, let's start rewriting it, at least. Okay. Alright. Okay. At 22? What's happening here? What is uninitialized here? Okay. I'm feeling a little bit less good about this on second thought. Okay, well... check basic block? Yeah, where specifically is this quitting? I think it might be a storage order issue. But I don't see that at a glance, at least. Actually, you know what I can do? I wrote this in a way that, we can easily... or, like, I wrote this test in a way that we can easily isolate which parts are breaking. So we can start with this. Okay, well, we've already found a culprit. Okay. Still 58 errors. $22. I guess we kind of knew this was failing, but where was it failing? Preds? Get size. So if it's empty and what is F? F is the function. So we have that, get entry block. I mean, I guess regardless we need to change this to do the thing we wanted to. Okay, so we have the vector of unique putter. This is a new pointer of our basic block. We don't need this thing anymore. We still need this to do, but I'll fix that after I fix this, I think. Unless this necessitates it, then I will fix it. We need to do a while loop again because I learned the hard way. Okay, so we want auto iter equals we begin, or wait, BB's begin, and then file, enter. Damn, I really named a variable after myself. What's good, Janine? Sorry I didn't respond sooner. Iter. Iter is not BB's end. We don't need that. We kind of need that, actually. How do I even do this? Or wait, no. So we want iter get successors or predecessors. Oh no, this is gonna be a mess. Okay. Iter get gun. Oh no, okay. Okay, new plan. Let's keep that as it was before. Auto basic block equals iter. We can deref that, I think, right? Or no, wait, we don't want to get that. Yeah, okay. This makes sense to me. I'm gonna remove edge. It's not the entry block. So if it's not empty and not the entry block, then we want to disconnect everything to it. And then fee insertion, I think, should be fine, actually. Or we don't need to adjust fees because these are never visited, at least during fee insertion. So I think that's fine. And then remove edge is fine. We can to drop. I'm gonna push back. Instead move. Basic block. Or iter. Deref iter. And then iter is now PB's erase iter. Okay. We figured out how to do the thing now. I think this might still break, but... Or I guess we can't really test this yet. Why is the thing... Alright, which of these is the uninitialized value? Is it get size? Should be get size. Alright, because... MIR. I should just separate out basic block. This is very troll. This should be default initialized, right? I should know this, actually. No? Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes complete sense. Yeah, I just realized. Okay. We need to make a constructor then. Yeah, okay. Let me study this up real quick. C++ default values. Default, not that. Default initialization values. Okay. Is there like a good summary anywhere that anyone knows of? Okay. Dynamic storage duration. Initialize that declaration with brackets. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Indeterminate value and undefined behavior. I see. That makes sense. Okay. Is there anything here maybe that's more readable? I don't know. I'll figure that out later, but yeah. That makes complete sense. Yeah. Thank you for letting me know. So we should throw this here. Like this. And then size 0. Yeah, okay. This should work then. And the other one definitely initializes properly. Yeah, I guess I should just finish rewriting this while I'm here anyway. One predecessor and let's cut out some of the words. this makes sense. Get instructions. I think most of this is pretty reasonable. This I have yet to see come in. If it does exist, then like we might need to handle that, but I'll worry about that when I get there. Most of this I think was fine. We just need to change this now. Let's just pull the code from up here. Just throw a to-do there. This is a mess. This will always be a mess. Okay, well, we have int++. This should be iter++ now. Okay, let's change this? No. This. Okay. We don't need to worry about this anymore, I think. We just don't need any of this anymore, I think, because, yeah, we don't do insane erase stuff at the end anymore. Okay. Make. Make and pray. Always make and pray. Maybe I should have read the thing saying uninitialized value. Maybe I should have put two and two together. I guess that's why I'm getting practice, huh? So, fair enough. Alright. Did I put in the wrong scope again? The blue one. So it should be within the purple one. It's in the purple one. Oh wait, this is the issue, I think. Is this a thing? Can I just break? No. Exit if. Or C++. Yeah, this continue is not good. It's definitely this continue. Or these continues here. I'd very much want to avoid using the goto, I fear. I mean, I guess I could, but like, yeesh. I could turn each of these into a helper, I think. I could turn each of these into a helper and like have a true false on return. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that I've implemented goto at one of the levels, but not at the parser level. But it would be really funny if I used a goto, actually. I don't know. I guess I should probably break this up into helpers anyway. This kind of is just a mess, so... yeah, let's try that out. So let's do bool... remove orphaned, I guess. Yeah, let's do basic block here. Or cool. Try remove orphaned. We can even just void this, I think. Alright, we should definitely bool this. Should be a basic block putter. I think we should also give it like, I think this is fine. Yeah, we could just like chain these, honestly. It'd be kind of funny, at least. Okay, so then try remove orphaned, try remove straight line, try remove rest. What else is this? Try simplify uncon branch? I don't know. These definitely need more passed into them, at least. I think we can get away with just not one size fits all here, at least. I guess I could throw lambdas into this, which is also pretty funny. Okay, so we have that. What else do we need to give this? Just a function, I guess? What's good, Piyush? Yeah, let's give it a function ref, I guess. I don't know. This is not consistent. Yeah, let's try implementing this. We can also just get rid of that even, because we need to. Kind of, yeah. We'll yeah. We'll. Which one is which? We want to go outside of this one. So basic block and our function f. Oh wait, we paste. There we go. Oh, I lied. This doesn't work. This doesn't work for a really stupid reason, which I probably should have realized. We don't have the iterator. We'd have to pass the iterator in, and that's just so much of a mess that I don't think it's worth it at that point. Then. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that then. We might have to use a goto, I think. Yeah, I want to avoid passing more things in, for better or for worse. Let's see. Okay, so how do we avoid this thing? Yeah, I guess I could make the iterator just... Yeah. I feel like the mega function is just like the least ugly way to do this, unfortunately. It's like C++ early exit if statement. We might actually want to use the code too. Okay, well... I mean, here it's not that bad to just nest, right? Like, it shouldn't be that bad. Okay, it might be quite bad. Here is a for loop, so it's fine. Okay, well... well, shit, okay. Alright, let's, what do I even do here? I could just pull this out, even. The big thing is I just want to avoid this thing. Because I'd very much like to not write preds.getEdges 0 get successors get size. So we might just have to do this, I fear. Please don't smite me for this one. I could also turn this if statement into like just a single execution while loop, which is also really funny. And then just break out of it. Shit bar. Forgive me. Macro magic? This solution doesn't seem right either. Nothing feels right for this. I might just throw a lambda at it. Is it that bad to throw a lambda at it? It can't be that bad. Okay, let's just stick lambdas in here. I think that is like the least bad of both worlds. And then just like pass things by reference. As long as it's not like recursive, it's fine, I think. Auto try remove orphan. Let's get this. What type is this again? Basic block edges. Okay. Let's see what. Basic block. Footer. Basic block. we can just do it like this, and then we can replace the continue with a break, and that's a lot less awful, I think. Oh, but then this is awful. Ay. Because we can't do a continue in here now. God damn it. Oh yeah, I can just return true, yeah. Yeah, okay. I don't like what this did to this, but I guess it's fine. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's fine. Okay, never mind. Yeah, okay, fair enough. And then we want to... Oh, and then we can just like throw these all in a big ore that short circuits. Yeah, okay. We can do it like this. Okay, then we can also like clean this up as well. Okay, perfect. Then we can do something similar here. I think these all just drop the same block at least. Or wait, no, because this thing won't necessarily do what we want it to here. Yeah, I think that might have to be lowest on the list because, yeah, just for like raw execution priority order, I think. Okay. So we have that auto try merge straight line. Let's give it another lambda here. Yeah, so now we can take this thing and then we can throw this in here. This we can replace with return false. So we can just exit early. I think the rest of this is largely fine. This continue is fine. We can return true here. Okay. This is such a funny solution, but I think this is fair enough. I think this is also just a lot more readable somehow. This will become unreadable, but I have an idea. I have a nice little idea. If you've watched my earlier streams, like days 1 through 5, you will understand I love this little trick. If you haven't, then you will still love this little trick, I guess. Or you will grow to love this little trick. Try, I guess like try dedupe p. Yeah, we can just leave this here for now. What's wrong here? Oh, right. I didn't do the thing, I think, right? Turn Wait. Wait, what? What did I do here? Oh, wait. We can just... Yeah, then we can simplify this even more. Yeah, this actually turned out to be the best decision. So if this, or... Yeah, then we can just throw in like early returns. Okay. Do that. And then we can do that. And we can do that. Okay. And then process the predecessors, singular predecessor. We can process all of the successors. This is fine. What's wrong here? I forgot this isn't Rust for a second, apparently. Try resolve fee, I guess. So we can do that. Let's clean this up a little bit. And then I think that should be last in the list here. Okay, this is growing messy, but I will clean it up later. Alright, finally we have, what do we call it? Auto try. What do we even call this? Try merge uncon branch. When are you tackling code gen? Hopefully after I get a little bit of inst combine working. Yeah, I'm a little bit. It's a little bit intimidating to attempt again because I also need to think about like what the memory representations look like, and I just haven't really had the time to do that. At least I've just been kind of living in the here and now. But that is definitely something I should think about, at least. Okay, so we get the Terminator. If not Terminator, or instructions, size, continue, or not continue, return false. So that's something we can't do. Are you planning on generating assembly or binary? Honestly, just assembly, and then I'll invoke the system linker and call it a day, I think. Yeah, I don't feel like writing an assembler right now. Maybe that'd be a fun extension to this, but the primary focus right now is just the compiler. This also means I'm not really dealing with a preprocessor, which is also why we are just using ints. This is fine. Turn false. Okay, now we can process. This is a mess. We can get rid of that. Return true. Yeah, okay. I need to go grab some groceries real quick, so I'll be right back. It should be like 5 minutes tops, so Yeah. What is it? Programming language? I'm writing the compiler in C++, but the compiler is for C, specifically C down to x86-64. All right. I'll be right back. Don't burn down the house while I'm away. So yeah, should be pretty quick. Alright, I am back. Holy, so many stairs. Hopefully y'all are still around, still kicking. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So I think most of this was good. I just need to add this on real quick. Merge unconned branch. Okay. Let's clean up some of the comments real quick. We can do that. Okay. I think this is as clean as it will get. Funnily enough, I think we have the same level of nesting because now everything that was wrapped in an if statement has been denested one layer, so we have net the same level of nesting. Yeah, it's a pretty good time. Okay, so the neat little trick I was talking about, this little if damn it, 1 second. Okay, yeah. So this little if pile is a little bit annoying to maintain because like if you were to try and like reorder these, you'd have to like pull this one, and then you have to like maybe sometimes take like the or, and then like sometimes not. Sometimes like the last one's like missing. It's like it's all annoying. So the idea here is we can just prepend it with a false. That gets compiled away, and then we can also give these each new lines. So we can do false there, we can or here, we can or here, and then we can bring this to a new line, and then everything gets its own line, and it makes me really happy. I foresee myself reordering things here a little bit in the future, so this seems like a good maintenance choice. Of course, format does not like it, but yeah. Let's turn cling format off here. And then we can turn it on again here. Okay, perfect. So we've got this little thing now. So now what we can do is we can just, if we wanted to put this at the front, we could just do this. Instead of having to like fiddle with the if statement. And it's so nice. It's such a nice quality of life change. Unfortunately, I'm like the only person that enjoys doing this. So like, I don't know. Yeah, that's all of that at least. Let's try testing again. It should build. Okay, this looks like it does what it is supposed to. Yeah. I guess the ones with a fee are kind of inevitable, but yeah. Okay, let's make test again. 6 failed tests, okay. Oh wait, I think I know why these are failing. But it all builds, which is good. It all builds and it runs at least. This one, yeah. And then 2 failed tests, okay. Interesting. Huh. That's a really funny diff, actually. These are equivalent at least, so I might just update the test and call it a day, to be honest. Is life a race? Am I too behind the race, or life about doing things you enjoy no matter how good you are or what it makes? I think it's unhealthy to think of life as a race. I feel like the sentiment that like comparison is the thief of joy, or however that went. I think that's just a true statement. Like you see people like that are pretty old just like start breaking into new fields even, and I think that is very much proof that like it's not a race. As long as you're like doing something with your time, and as long as you're making forward progress and you're enjoying it, I think you're doing well. Yeah, it's a marathon, but it's a marathon but not a sprint, I guess, is how I would word it at the end of the day. Okay, let's fix these tests real quick. Git status, git add. middle end. Let's restore driver real quick. We fix, simplify, CFG, more code maintenance. We don't need to push that. Let's see what this is now. Okay, this is all the passes. Why is this not working? Oh, I know why. That's why. Okay. Spaces for compiler or update directory import paths. Pushing my code to master and disabling the tests that say my code doesn't work. Low key. I mean, that's kind of how it is, I guess. I should probably have like a better mechanism for testing this stuff and maybe like equivalent forms, but maybe I should just make it an ordered map just for print reasons. No other reason. Do you guys use master or main? I use main because that's the default when I created my GitHub account, and I don't see a reason to like force a change at least. Yeah, it's a lot of people make it more of a big deal than I think it really deserves. So, like, sure, I guess. Maybe I should like make the print canonicalize. So I don't think we're going to be printing a lot, so it's probably safe. That would be down here. And then I'm going to need to regenerate a bunch of tests by hand as well, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Maybe I should add like op levels while I'm at it. B. Okay, so this is a really funny question, which I think is so funny. Okay, yeah, so we might just have to make a mess here. More memory, interesting. I guess that makes sense. The reinterpret cast would be so funny. Or just like custom define reinterpret cast for those two. Okay, let's map from, forgot what type it is. This is not the right file for that. Okay, cool. Basic, block, footer, value footer, ordered predecessors. Does this just take like... Can I just like use a constructor for this? Or this is the wrong place. Map. Works semantically? I guess that would make sense. Yeah, okay, let's give this a shot. So let's just do like just take this, errors begin, and then errors end. Does this work? Uh-oh. Right, this should be fine. Oh, I know it's not fine. Whoops. I have not used the map yet up to this point, so this should work then. Alright, let's do that. Or I guess like ordered threads, or just ordered even. Okay, so we can do that. Ordered. Ordered. Yeah, okay. Let's see what this does now. Okay, so it orders by the wrong... It sorts by not what I want it to sort by. Which is completely my mistake. Also, this number is also kind of doomed, because duh. At least it's canonicalized in some way, I guess, at least. What? Huh. What was that before? Comparator? Maybe I could just reverse this, actually. Oh, right, because we don't have reverse iterators in that. But we do in this. Right? No, that doesn't even... No, I'm just tweaking. Yeah, for now we can just do this. Right now I just care that it's canonicalized in some way. Okay, these test failures are completely reasonable. This one is a little more confusing. I don't know why that fails. It's test call chain. Which one is it breaking on first? That's fine. That should work. Or why is this broken? Why is this diff broken? Call chain opt MIR. Okay, so this was just straight up broken, which is kind of funny to think about. Okay. So I guess I just did not look closely at my code, which is it's such a funny outcome. Yeah, this was just always broken. Okay. Cool. Let's just update that test real quick. Make test. Wow, one failed test. Okay, cool. How didn't I catch that one? I know how I didn't catch that one. I was lazy. Of course that's always how it goes down. Okay. This is just simplify CFG? Or... No, just mem to reg is broken. I guess that makes sense. So... Alright, let's go back here. I really need to add opt levels. This is untenable. This is mem to reg, opt, mir. Okay. Now we will test, and that still fails. What? That's not supposed to happen. That should be canonicalized. Yeah. That's not ideal. Why does that happen? Am I iterating through the correct thing? Should be in here. Huh. 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 What's the test runner doing then? This is in here. Should be in here. Did I give it the correct passes? Mem to reg. This is as it was. Passes mem to reg. That's the expected. Let's just run it. Wait, what? Wait, what? Why isn't there... Wait. Wait. Build... Okay, so that doesn't... This is... So which one is it borking? Okay, let's do this again. That's a little silly. This shouldn't... Why is this different? Am I checking the wrong test? Am I with passes test mem to reg? That's funky. These match up because they should match up. But I guess maps just don't sort the same way anymore when we print them, but only in a test runner? That doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, that doesn't seem reasonable at all. I've done everything I can, at least, to regularize the output. So this is just a map. So this is ordered. Like, this is necessarily ordered. Oh, wait, no. We do need a comparator for this, I think. No, because I think this is just like comparing other things. Yeah, so this is just comparing the pointers then, I think. So the order should be fine, but yeah. Let's give it a comparator. How do I do this again? Yeah, that makes sense now that I think about it. So we have this nice little numbering thing somewhere, I think, in here. Right? I think we do. Like, is this? No, it was... Yeah, we take in, like, basic block IDs, so we can definitely do something with that. At least. I think we can just give this a lambda, right? Yeah, let's give it a lambda. What's good, Caden? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, let's make the comparator. So this is lambda. This takes in. What the fuck does this take in? Basic block, footer A, basic block, footer B. Ref. So we can do this real quick. Let's decal type. Cons footer, yeah, good call. I haven't gotten bitten by it yet. Is this the decal type works? Yeah, okay. Oh boy. This is gonna be a mess. Which way does the comparator go? I never remember this. True if the first should come before. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So then return basic block IDs at A is less than basic block IDs at B. Okay, well, we're just gonna do a little bit of this real quick and see what happens. Hopefully nothing blows up. Woohoo. We're gonna see what happens. Hopefully nothing goes too south. Too south. Let's look at all the constructors for this thing. Compare. Is there one that takes an iterator? Yeah, okay. There's this one. So we just pass it in here, methinks. Comp. Type with its brace up with its parentheses operator overloaded. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Let's see what happens here. We'll find out the hard way. This should probably fail more tests now. Oh, but not for like unreasonable reasons. Let's rebuild. Let's compare now. Oh, wait, what? Wait. Wait. This just does something else altogether now. Or wait, no. Oh, it just swaps the order of those two now. Let's... Can we just like do that and then make tests again? Okay, well now it works, I guess. So we take those, I guess. We take those, I guess. Yeah, okay. It's a really funny conclusion to this, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Get diff compiler, get restore compiler, and then let's just commit this. Non-equalize print for fees. Yeah, that's kind of that is just the takeaway. Honestly, the takeaway is just to like not do this at all. The takeaway is just to use a standard map if you care about order. Or even just like make a vector of pairs and like sort it. Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna push that. I think that is like the big pile of what I wanted to get done with this branch at least. Let me close out of that. We're not doing this anymore. We fixed this. These are the only things left that I want to do. And they're all just like quality of life things. I could honestly leave this for like some other time in the project because they're honestly not that big of priorities. Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be a good idea to implement sooner than later, and I'm also kind of curious to learn about how iterators are implemented, but it's not like strictly necessary. I guess it might be useful for some other things, but yeah, anyway. Yeah. Are you using UVim 0.11? I think I'm using 0.10 at least. Oh no, I am using 0.11. Yeah, I guess that's a nice little side effect of everything. Whoa. What is... Okay. Sure. Yeah. I think this is a good place to call the stream, though. It has been a 4-hour stream somehow. I set aside like 2 hours for it usually, and then it just goes nuts. How do you configure NeoVim for C++? It's the big one's just LSP. Everything else is kind of just existent with everything else. Here's my ClingD settings. Yeah, it's nothing too spectacular. Maybe I should upgrade this to 23. I don't know why it's at 17. Yeah, that's my ClingD pile though. The rest of this is just like general LSP stuff. I don't think I have any other interesting config things there. But yeah, I'm gonna hold a stream here. I usually try to set aside 2 hours and then it ends up magically doubling for some reason. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching, especially if you've been here since the very start of the stream, because 4 hours is like actually a whole lot of time. Make sure you sub to the channel if you haven't, and like the stream if you haven't. It really helps out the algorithm and it helps get my content out to more people. And while you're down there, you should also you should join my Discord. That's the best place to get notified when I go live, because there's this nice little live channel. It sends pings. It's quite nice. You also get to chat with me and the broader community while I'm offline. It's a pretty good time overall. And of course, make sure you add me on GitHub and connect with me on LinkedIn if you haven't already. That is the best place to stay up to date with what I've been doing. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat something probably. I'm a little bit hungry after streaming for that long. Take care, y'all. Take it easy and have a wonderful rest of your day.